Hey everyone, welcome back. So since I got a new vehicle, it looks like it's time to go through and check out my emergency kit for my vehicle. Alright everybody, thanks for joining me. So, I had to get rid of the Suburban. It was getting old, it was getting tired, and we picked up a new Jeep Liberty. Well, not brand new, but new to us. And so far I'm really liking it. Got the ham radio gear installed, GPS and all. And I went through the emergency kit and realized that I don't have the big back I used to have like I did in the Suburban. So it definitely made me reevaluate some of my survival gear and emergency gear. And it's still a work in progress. We're not done yet. But one of the things that I like about having emergency gear, you got to think about when you're on the road as a prepper, you're probably the most vulnerable. You have to deal with the possibility of a bad accident or heavy traffic from road closures, bad weather, breakdowns in remote areas if you live in a remote area with no cell coverage. It just makes sense to have an emergency vehicle in your kit. Now I have some stuff in other parts of the car that we'll show you in a minute, but I just wanted to show you the definitely decreased space here. I'm used to having about double this space, and run some ideas by people. I have some ideas of how I'm going to change things up a little bit. I might be getting rid of this big black case and just go to all backpacks like that one and strap them across the back. But anyway, I'm going to show you the gear that I keep in the front of the vehicle that I keep near me at all times. So let me get that stuff out and we'll be right back. Alright, something really weird just happened. This is the gear I keep up front. We'll get into that in a second. I went into the center console and I bought this from a dealership used. I went to the center console, I noticed a piece of paper that I'd never seen before. And I pulled it out, and it's the insurance card of the previous owners. But here's the thing. I know them. The guy's a ham radio operator in my club. So, I guess I'll get the real lowdown on if anything's really wrong with this vehicle from him. I'm like, holy cow, I know these people. Isn't that weird, huh? Small town, I guess. So anyway, let's get into the gear. The first thing I have is a roll-up kit, which is my first aid kit, and I keep this up front at all times. I keep it in the center console because while I do have a first aid kit in my big emergency kit here, this is more of a trauma kit. This is more for, I've been in an accident, I'm seriously injured, or someone else is seriously injured in the vehicle, and I can take care of them or myself. I do have a flashlight on here. This is a little Ozark Trails, little pen light, and I do keep another flashlight, and this is one of those AutoZone specials. It's not super bright, but it works, So I don't keep anything expensive up there like that. I always have a flashlight on me as well. It's usually a very good flashlight. So these are just cheapies I keep, just in case. We'll go over this real quick. Of course, I have a tourniquet and some quick clot. And, the regular boo-boo kit, a marker to mark on the tourniquet when it's been put on. I do keep a roll of quarters in here. Now, somebody laughed when I said, well, they're for use with a payphone. Because there aren't many payphones, at least in most areas, but I think the biggest trips my wife and I really do normally is going to Vegas, and there are still some payphones in Vegas, so it's handy to have. It's also good for parking meters or whatever. I just have them wrapped up in a bit of tape. But this is just a very basic trauma first aid type kit with a tourniquet in it. And along with that, I also, as I showed you, the other flashlight, I keep this in my door. This also lives in my door, and it's just a cheap set of binoculars. I got these for free years ago when I ordered a bunch of stuff from Cheaper Than Dirt. They work. They do their job. These aren't Steiners, and it didn't cost me anything. They're just everyday average binoculars. But they have come in handy for, it's very flat out here, and sometimes when there's a big pile up on the road and you're stopped 4 miles back, you can at least see what's going on up ahead of you. So, keep that stuff near me at all times. That way it's accessible if something happens in the car and I have an injury, or someone in the car has an injury, whatever. It's right there ready to go. And this is kind of handy for traffic and other situations when you're stopped on the road. So, we're going to tear into the kit next, and this guy here, and I'll show you what's in those. Alright, so the first bag is this. Now, I'm not going to open this bag up because it's a nightmare to repack, and it's got so many straps on it. I will tell you what's inside. This isn't super exciting survival gear. You're not missing out, really. I do keep some extra motor oil in there, jumper cables, a compressor. I do, on the sides, I'll show you what's in it. A very basic toolkit. It's not much, but it does take up a lot of space. I have a big roll of duct tape in here that I had to kind of clean up because it was all sticky from the other car. So I had to take a bunch of it off. But I'll show you the sides real quick because they're easy to get out. I do keep just a regular rag. They come in handy. I also have gloves in here too. Some work gloves in case I have to do something to the engine. And I keep a couple extra boxes of my carry ammo. And on the other side, I keep emergency lights. I don't have flares. I do keep one chem light in here. There's more in that kit. And I do keep these guys. Okay, these are magnetic. They just stick to your vehicle. And you can put them down as flares. They do have a little tab down there. And they just flash. And I also have other emergency type lights here. We'll get into those in a second. So just a handy little extra bit of emergency lighting should I need it on the side of the road. I don't keep road flares in here. They're actually really hard to find around here. I don't know if there's something in Nevada about finding road flares or buying them or keeping them or whatever. So that's basically this kit. And really this is just a car kit. There's nothing exciting in here. It's just tools and stuff. And if it wasn't such a pain in the neck to get back in there with the jumper cables and everything, I would open it, but I just don't want to tear it apart. And this is really more what we're into here anyway. I do have an extra wool blanket in here as well. So I have 2 wool blankets in here, one in here and one in that kit. So let's tear into the next kit next. All right, next off on the side there's a pocket. Now you'll notice there's what looks like a painted gas can in there. That is a gas can that's never had gas in it. I bought it brand new. I use it for water storage. It's not the best, you know. Yeah, I know I should get a real proper water can. The problem is every water can I've purchased in the past has sprung leaks, or I even tried aqua blocks in here and they leaked. So not in this vehicle, in my previous vehicle. So it's the only thing I can find right now that doesn't leak. I do have somebody tracking down a lead for me on a reel, those plastic military, like it looks like a military gas can, but they're green and they're for water. So that's going to change out. That's 2 gallons. The military can is 5, so it's a little more water. We are out in the desert, and believe me, if I got stuck in the middle of Death Valley, I'd be drinking that water regardless of the chemicals or whatever they say about the plastic. You know, it's really, really for emergency. And I do change it out often. I probably change that out once every 6 months or so. Make sure it's okay. I've never gotten any kind of weird taste out of the water. All right, down here. These are little emergency lights as well. These are also kind of flares. I just changed out the batteries in these, and believe it or not, the batteries were still good. You can see they flash, they go on the road. They're ruggedized, rubberized. They just take 2 little, they have a million settings on them too. They just take 2 little AAAs. Very, very handy. I'm still sitting here going, I know the person who owned this vehicle before. That's so odd. This is for my truck gun. Basically, it's a single shot shotgun. I know some people hate the idea of truck guns. I picked a gun that basically I got for free, that I restored myself. It's this little single shot H&R type break open 12 gauge. I reparkerized it, cleaned up the wood. You know, I figure if somebody's going to steal that, first of all, I got it for free. Second of all, they're not going to do too much damage with a single shot shotgun. You know, if I have to have a truck gun, at least I have something like that. That's not, you know, super valuable. Or, you know, I'd love to stick an AR in here, but I always worry about theft or something like that and what the person might do with it in the end. So this is just some extra ammo for it. And that lives down here in the little cubby hole in the corner. So now I promise you we're going to tear into that. I pulled the other bag away and I was like, oh, I didn't mention this stuff. And you notice I do have a fire extinguisher over here. I mounted that in here from my previous vehicle. Behind here is the jack. This comes off. And I also have a kind of a, let's see if I can get this off, a traffic directing type light in here. It is very, very handy. I've used it with my ham radio club a lot of times. It's very bright, very handy. People see it. So that's that there. So now we're going to tear into the box, I promise. All right, into the main compartment here. You'll notice I have a bungee cord in the front here. That's just to keep it from bouncing back and forth. It just hooks on the back seat. So the first thing out of here is it's a really old green backpack that I picked up a while back. And what I like about it is it's cheap enough that I can just throw some stuff in if I have to leave on foot. Now, I do have the other backpack now. I didn't have that in my other vehicle. I just had a big ammo can full of all my car repair stuff and tools and compressor. So, it's really just, it serves a purpose as a backpack if I have to abandon the car. I can take some supplies with me and hit the road. But I have the other one now, so this may not stay with me, being that I have that backpack and I can always dump out the tools and just head on down the road with that one, and it's a much better backpack. Next up, tarp. Tarp's good for shelter, good for ground cover, whatever, you know, if you're working out in the rain, you can stick it over the hood, tape it down over yourself so you don't get soaked. I am going to be putting a rain poncho in here, but you guys want to see the review of the rain poncho first before I stick it in here, and it never comes out again. Alright, this stuff here is my electronics kit. I have an AM/FM shortwave radio. You've seen me review the Tecsun. A little whistle. Get in there. A little whistle, a little headlamp, and some extra batteries. This is, you know, I joke about this kit because it's usually where my gear goes to die, so it's the oldest gear, but it's also gear that I've used the most, and I rotate stuff out of my bug-out bags when I get better stuff, and it goes in here. So that's kind of the idea behind this. I have a bunch of extra batteries in here, and these batteries do get changed out because of the, you know, we have really extreme heat here, so the batteries do get changed out once a season. So what's next? Let's go over here. Some gloves for cold weather. I do have work gloves in the other kit. This is just to keep my hands warm. Most important, toilet paper. Can't go without it. Now, I reviewed this a while back. It's kind of similar to the Sawyer filter. This is from Atex City. It's their hollow membrane fiber filter, along with the water purification tablets and the clarifier for the water purification tablet. So that gives me enough water purification on the side of the road should I need it. Next up, a couple of emergency rescue hypothermia blankets. Again, I have no illusions on these. I know they're not going to keep me toasty warm in an emergency, but they will offer insulation inside the vehicle should I get stuck in a snowstorm. And for those of you that think it can't snow in the desert, you should have been out here about a month ago. We were driving over the mountain in blinding snow. I think they got about a foot or 2 feet up there on the mountain to pass to Vegas. Okay, these, always handy to have a couple N95 masks. You never know when you'll need them. This is just a bunch of MRE sides and coffee type stuff. Non-dairy creamer and salt, pepper, you know, some Gatorade, some instant coffee. Just handy stuff to the side of the road if you're stuck. This is one of those things that kind of floats through my bags. Either Mayday ration bar. These are actually pretty good. Got about 50 feet of paracord in here. This is interesting. This is a magnet, a very strong magnet. You stick your glow stick in here. So if I need to signal, I stick this on here, crack open a glow stick and drop it in there, and it will stick pretty much anywhere on my vehicle. Okay. Now again, this is one of those deals. This is a Frost cutlery knife. Yeah, these are cheap Chinese knives. But you know what? This thing has done a ton of work in the channel itself. I've used it a whole lot. I've batoned wood with it. I've cut. I've feather sticked. I've done a ton of stuff. You've probably seen it in some of my videos, and I've got my SEMA up there now, so I'm using this one in the car. It does what it's supposed to do. It works well. Not the best knife, but again, chances of using it aren't as great as, say, in a bug-out bag or something. But it works. This was something I came across for $2 at a yard sale. It's a mossy oak machete. Back about 2 or 3 years ago I reviewed this. And I chopped down a bunch of extra limbs in my backyard and some palm trees and stuff. So I know it works. I know it keeps a very, very nice edge. The saw stinks on it. Don't waste your time using it. But the machete itself is good if I have to clear some brush. And mostly out here what we have is a lot of tumbleweeds and brush and prickly bushes and stuff like that. So this will be perfectly handy for that. Next up, this is going to go away. Like I said, I have a real rain poncho. But I do have a rain poncho in there. In case I'm out in the wet, got to change tire, whatever. Not that I'll melt, but it helps to keep you dry. Now, I have 2 first aid kits here. This one isn't a first aid kit. This just has trauma supplies and gauze and big stuff in it. This is the one I recently reviewed. I have updated it a little bit. I've put in some Quick Clot and some other stuff. There we go. Some steri strips in there. I have some crazy skin crazy glue, you know, specifically medical crazy glue. And I have updated this kit. Again, I have the trauma kit up front, you know, right with me. But something like this, handy for boo-boos, cuts, other bad abrasions, stuff like that. This just has more larger type stuff. Rolls of gauze. I don't want to dig into everything here and make this video too long. Rolls of gauze, big pads. Got an emergency whistle in there. Little baby compass in there. That compass actually works, so I kept it. Alright, next up, my cooking kit. Now, this is going to be kind of weird because I don't like to store, is that in camera? No, it's not. I don't like to store gas and stuff in the back of a vehicle. The propane stuff leaks and everything. So this is basically a large Esbit stove. And in here I have an old military first aid kit with a ton of Esbit cubes and all the different cubes I've tested over the years. This is a large Esbit stove. I've done a review on this as well. It takes 2 tablets. And this is handy. You know, I could probably get away with cooking with a window open in the vehicle if I had to in a pinch. I wouldn't want to, and I'm not telling you guys to do it. But, you know, it's not some kind of big flame or gas or something like that. But that's why I have this, because it also can double as a wood stove too if I had to. Throw wood twigs in it and cook. So that's that. And the rest of that kit is just that big old first aid kit with a bunch of Esbit tabs in it. And this is my StrikeFire fire starter, fire steel. Works very, very well. Very handy to have. I want to make sure I'm getting this stuff in the camera here. I'm not missing you guys. Alright, in here, no real need to pull them out, but you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 MREs. Sounds like a lot of food, but that's the point. This is a short-term kit. That'd probably be good for 2 or 3 days, you know. MREs are quite filling, so I could probably get by with rationing and eating them carefully. I also have a bunch of MRE sides in here, and some MRE heaters. These are all brand new within the last 6 months. I bought them when I went to that Army-Navy store in Vegas. For those of you that know it, it's called Hans. Sharpening stone. Yeah, it's not the best, but you know what? It'll work in a pinch. It has a fine side and a rough side. It's a little too rough, actually, but it'll work. Again, here is my cook kit. This is just a bowl and a pot. You guys see me review this. And it does have a little wood stove inside of it. It does have this little kind of gasifying wood stove inside. And it's got a pot and some silverware. So in a pinch, if I have to set up shop on the side of the road, I have a way to cook with either Esbit tablets, and if they run out, I have a way to cook with wood. Here's the rest of those that I was telling you about. The rest of those sticks. Those do get changed out often. It doesn't like heat. Alright, I have 2 of these. Full with water. Those get rotated out. And lastly, 2 things here. My Yay-Cool shovel kit. You guys saw me review that just recently. I actually liked it well enough that it's replaced the little... Again, like I said, this is like the orphan gearbox here, so I had one of those cheapy military shovels, that the fold-up ones that kind of tend to bend and break. This one replaced it. This is a very nice kit. It's very heavy. I wouldn't think of carrying this in a bag, but for as far as car kit, perfect for it. And lastly, the dreaded tube tent. Yep, I figure if I gotta really camp out, it's gonna suck, but it'll work, you know? So it's something. And there is a wool blanket underneath the whole thing here. And there's just those 8 MREs, and I believe that's it, yeah. And there's one MRE entree here. What is this? Yellow and wild rice pilaf. So, that's pretty much the kit that's in the vehicle. And that's pretty much how I got it right now. There were some things I added. There were some things I removed. All in all, I think it's a pretty decent kit for an emergency on the side of the road. Should I need it. So it's not, you know, it's way improved from when it was previous. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm pretty happy with it. I am thinking about changing out this box, because this box takes up a lot of real estate in the back here. And my bug out tub system would be severely compromised if I had to use this and that. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting a couple more backpacks similar to the one I have my tools in, and just making it a 3 backpack system across the back here. One will be food, one will be supplies, one will be car stuff. And the water tub will sit on this side. I'll mount it to the side of the thing here. The water jug, when I get a proper water jug, will mount on the side. So if I do update this, I will show you. I did a video probably about 3 or 4 years ago of this kit. And you can probably, if you go back and watch it in my Suburban, you can probably see how much it's improved since then. You know, I have much better gear in here today. And this isn't even the best. It's just better stuff. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out our Amazon store down below if you're interested in picking up some gear. Most of the gear I review I put in my Amazon store, so it's all one place for you to check out. Don't forget to check out our Thrive Life store as well. Lots of freeze-dried stuff in there. If you want to get started on your food storage, that is the place to start. We have our Thrive Life link down below there too as well. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, click, like, and subscribe if you liked the video. And stay safe and stay prepared.